Hello.
Hello.
Welcome back to Closing the Podcast. Okay, we're starting this off real hot.
I know. But we're going to get the energy up. Turn it up.
Yes, let's go. Welcome to Closing the Podcast. I'm Marissa.
I'm Madison.
And make sure you take a shot for every time I say because
yes,
it's bad.
Yeah, we were editing the first podcast. She was saying, I just literally said but she said probably every 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And like
at least.
Times.
At least.
We had to take out a lot of them.
We had to take out a lot of them, and we had to take out a lot of awkwardly long pauses.
Yeah. See, the transition between topics sometimes
Especially because we don't have a plan for what we're going to talk about.
Yeah, like whatever comes up.
So far.
Yeah.
It could change by episode 30. I don't know.
30.
30.
Such a weird number.
30.
I know.
So the day that we're recording this is the day before the first episode is coming out. So we don't have anyone's suggestions or anything like that back yet. So we're just winging this episode again.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I don't know, but you just showed me. So, apparently an alligator?
Yes. Okay, so I literally got a notification from BuzzFeed about an 11-foot alligator that broke into somebody's home in Clearwater, Florida. We live in Florida, for anyone who doesn't know that. We're not really anywhere near Clearwater. But I want you to picture 11-foot long, I might have said tall, I meant long. 11-foot long alligator in general. Now picture it in your kitchen, bro. Kitchen. Why are you in my house? You don't pay rent. Get out.
Literally my motto for everything.
You don't pay rent to be here. Get out.
Yes.
11 feet long. It just broke into a window and crawled in. Like it owns the place. You're an alligator, bro.
I know, but what in the right mind of an alligator would be like, oh, let me just climb into somebody's house.
Let me just go into this house. Why would you not just go into a swamp?
Exactly.
This is the state of swamps.
I know.
There's a million that you could go into, and you said, let me go into this house real fast.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Why do you want that for yourself?
I used to live in a neighborhood that had a huge ass canal that somehow connected to the Everglades in a way, because I lived far west. And one time my friend and I, we would always be outside playing, and we saw the
tracks.
No, not the tracks, but their, what is it called? The
ripples?
Skin. Yeah, the ripples in the water. And we're like, oh, maybe it's just some fish or something. No. There wasn't just one.
Oh,
shit. There were multiple.
Oh, shit.
So, I don't know if you used to watch a show called The Gator Boys.
No.
Oh my god, so yeah, there was a show called The Gator Boys, and
you know what? I feel like I have seen that.
Their job is literally to go to people's lakes, canals, whatever.
Yes, and get the alligators.
Yeah, and save them. They have a sanctuary or whatever of alligators, and they do shows and all that stuff. So we've seen their show before, and I was like, well, let's call the Gator Boys. They don't live far from us. We got them on the phone. They come.
Oh my god, you actually called the Gator Boys.
Yes, we did. At the time, we only thought there was one.
Dude, that's so funny.
I forgot their names, but the one guy that goes into the water, whatever, he gets his suit on, goes in, and he's like, so I got one, but I saw more, so I'm gonna go back for more.
More.
And I was like, what do you mean more? And we had this huge hill that we would just sit on, and all the kids would go and play on this hill. It literally was a hill to the other side of the road.
A hill in Florida?
Yeah, right? It's kind of like the dump.
It's the dump hill.
No. It wasn't the dump hill, but it was a hill.
Oh, interesting.
It was a small hill, but enough to block, separate the road
from the
community, whatever. And so he goes back for more. He ended up catching 2, and they were like decent size, like 5, 6, 7 feet.
Oh my god!
And we got to pet them, whatever.
Oh my god!
They were gonna like, oh, we're gonna come back in a few months because they had to like film it. So they're like, we're gonna like have you guys as actors and everything. Waiting. I mean, I'm waiting for my debut on TV, like, and never comes back. And I was like, I don't really care, but like, it was cool, man.
That's
my cousin
crazy.
Showed me that show was good.
That's so funny. You had the gator. That is so funny.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I love that.
It was a good time.
That's so funny. Oh, I love the thought of that. Like the thought of there being 2 alligators in your backyard.
Yeah, where dogs go and roam.
Yeah. Like in the fully in the suburbs. Yep. Just 2 alligators.
2 dudes.
That's so funny. 2 bros. We referenced that in the other podcast, I think.
No, we referenced.
Or was that in the first time that we?
No, we referenced. It's Wednesday, my dude.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Even though we didn't film it on a Wednesday.
We did not. This also is not a Wednesday. Today's Friday. Yeah.
Yeah.
Friday. It's Friday. But, dude, I saw her sing that live.
Really?
Yeah, she was at Playlist last year. Yeah, last year. Well, not so this crazy. Past year, but like last year, 18.
It's crazy how much she's like evolved.
Well, she's I will never forget this as long as I live.
Okay.
I was walking around with my friend Maddie and her boyfriend Justin, and we were walking by like the Neat Dude booth, which is a clothing company if you guys don't know. And I was going over to meet like Shan and Chris and Jeff and like all these people that were over there. And I'm like, am I hearing Friday by Rebecca Black? But it was like slowed down. So I couldn't even tell really that it was her. It was like slowed down. And then she was talking about, she was like, yeah, I wrote that song when I was really young, and, you know, I wanted to give it like a new life. And I was like, oh my God, that's literally Rebecca Black on stage at Playlist Live in front of me singing Friday in the year 2018. What a life this is. This is such a life. Like, what a weird thing.
Yeah, that song was definitely something else.
It was so bad, and it's been stuck in my head this entire time. Like, since the song was out. Like, I think about that song all of the time.
Yeah, she went on. Do you know what the 4 is?
Yeah.
Yeah, she went on the 4 like
I forgot
season.
about that.
Yeah, and I think it was like Meghan Trainor was one of the coaches. And she walks out, like Rebecca walks out, and Megan was like, oh my God. She starts fangirling. And like Diddy and DJ Khaled are like,
they're like, who's
this? Like, we don't know who this is. And Megan's just like, oh my God, it's Rebecca Black. Like she's standing in front of me. I was like, oh my God. And I swore she was going to get through. And she didn't.
Because she's good.
She's good. But apparently they didn't like her enough. And I was like,
Well, she had like a successful YouTube channel.
I know, but I don't know what happened to it.
I don't know.
See, like,
she probably just
when
doesn't
I used
post.
to watch her, that's when like
I never watched her.
I never really like watched her, but she did a lot of collabs with like.
Yes.
Do you remember like? Because I got into YouTube. I got into YouTube from O2L.
Okay.
But when that whole thing was like when they were still together, like that's when like Andrea and Jen and Lauren Elizabeth and what's the girl's name? It started with an A. I don't know, but it was like all 4 of them were like roommates.
Oh, Arden.
Yes, Arden. And then they were like friends with.
God, I forgot all about that. Yes. Yeah,
this was like back.
This was
YouTube.
Yeah.
But and then they would be like friends with Rebecca and like That's So Jack and all that stuff.
Yes.
All these people I don't watch except for like.
That is such an era of YouTube that like, it feels so forgotten. But I think all of those people still post. Maybe not Rebecca. I don't know. I really don't know.
I was about to say I don't watch any of them except for like maybe Keen and JC every once in a while.
Yeah.
because they do some stupid stuff, but I mean, that's their channel, so.
Yeah, like, that's the point, I guess. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That era, God, YouTube has changed so much. I know. Not necessarily for the better. Like, some of it is for the better.
No, I definitely think there's a lot more, like, I feel like people take advantage of YouTube.
Yeah.
Like, they think it's, like, the easy way out of life. Like, oh,
and it can
I don't
be.
have to go to college, like, I'll just create a YouTube channel.
I mean, it can be if it works out for you.
Yeah, but I feel like you need to do it for the right reasons. Like, you can't having a mindset and being like, oh my god, this is, like, going to be my career.
I've always said this about you, because I've wanted to start a YouTube channel for years. Mm-hmm. Years and years and years. And I've always said, like, if I ever do it, like, I don't care if you can make money. Like, I don't.
Honestly, I don't even know how to make money.
I know, like, how, but I wouldn't care if I did or not.
Yeah.
Like, if I was doing it, it would be because I wanted to do it. Mm-hmm. Like, we're not doing this podcast. We're doing it because we wanted to do it.
Yeah. Like,
not because, like, I don't even expect this to, like, blow up. Like, I'm not expecting anything.
Yeah.
It would be cool if it, like, blew up and, like, people, you know, knew about it and, like, cared. Mm-hmm. But I'm not expecting it to.
Yeah.
I'm not going into it with the idea of, like, ooh, I'm going to be a podcaster. Like, okay. That's going to be my career. Like, no. No. We're not doing that. Yeah. So, where was that going? Oh, YouTube has changed a lot. Yeah. I feel like it's almost harder now. Like, I feel like YouTube is killing its own platform.
Yes and no, I think. See, I think, like, it is in the case of, like, so many people are doing it now, and, like, people, like, who are 12 years old are like, oh, like, let me just post a video or whatever. But at the same time, I feel like,
wait, I think you need to come closer.
Can you hear?
Okay. I can hear you, but you were, like, quiet.
Okay, well.
I don't think it was the whole time. I think it was just now.
Yeah. But at the same time, I feel like I don't want to bring him up because I don't really want to talk about him, but, like, James Charles in the way of, like, the business aspects of YouTube.
Well, he was really smart. Like, he knew how to do business stuff.
Yeah.
Like, that's why he got so big.
Yeah. And
that's
he
why
was,
he
he wanted, like, he talked to, what is her name, Susan, the, like, head of YouTube or whatever.
Yeah, Susan Wojcicki, I want to say her name is, or something. Yeah. I know who you're talking about.
But he would, like, have, like, talks with her about the business aspects.
Because, I mean, yes. And that's admirable to a degree. But at the same time, it's very clear that that's what he started YouTube for.
Yeah.
And that's always been very clear.
Yeah.
You can tell. I can tell, at least. Yeah. I know a lot of people, because I've been in and out of fandoms and in that culture. Mm-hmm. And I've always, for the most part, been on the older side of that. And, like, I can tell when somebody is being, like, they're just posting videos to make the money and to get the fame and get the clout and get whatever, this, that, and the other thing. Like, I can tell. And I can tell when they don't care about their fans as people, like, individual people, rather than numbers.
Yeah.
And I feel like
that hard to.
I feel like it's very easy to tell. But there are, like, I do know a lot of very young people that are into it, that are fans of people that I, like, can't stand because I can just, like, I can tell that they're not genuine. And they just don't see it yet. Yeah. Like, they don't get it yet. Which is fine. Like, been there, done that. Like, been there, trust me. But I feel like the older you get, the more evident it becomes who is in this for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
And it's annoying because there's always going to be people who don't see it. Mm. And they're still going to support these people, and it's crazy.
Yeah, but nowadays you can get clout over anything.
Oh, so easy.
Like, the video, like, and
yeah.
Like, literally a 5-second, like, little phrase blew up, and now this person is, like, everywhere.
Ricky Dillon just...
Yeah, I saw that.
Did you see that? Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, whoa, the things that like can get you places. Like,
right. But with that, like, unless you have to keep going with that momentum.
Yeah, that's
like there's certain people that will have this like big like that, like this big, you know, viral 4 seconds. Mm-hmm. And if you don't run with it and you don't keep doing things and you just sort of get that moment and then you're like, yeah, I'm gonna coast on this, it's not gonna work. Like, you're not gonna get the continued virality from this one thing. Like, you have to keep doing that.
Yeah. Like, I was talking to my friend the other day about how I was like, isn't it crazy how like people just like, I don't know, make money from these little videos? Like, the kids that started like, oh, look at the vans or whatever.
Oh yeah,
back at it again.
Damn Daniel.
With yeah.
Tyler like, references that all the time. Still, he just did it like, the other day.
The 2 kids literally are like had a lifetime supply of vans, and
they went on Ellen.
Yeah, where are they now?
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
They're probably verified on Twitter and Instagram though. I feel like I've seen people that are verified on Twitter that have less followers than me.
Wait, really?
Yeah. Like, there's people with, like, 1K that are verified. Like, how? Who did you have to suck to get verified on Twitter with 1,000 followers? I have over 2,000, and, like, ain't nobody verified me.
Yeah.
Like, what do I have to do?
Some people are definitely verified, should not be.
Yeah. For sure.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the verification is so that people know that you're not, like, a fake account.
Yeah.
Which I get. But I feel like you should be able to get your verification taken away if you're, like, being shitty. Like, I think that would be so funny if it was, like, a reward system.
Yeah.
Like you get a... you get a blue check mark if you're, like, good, and if you're going through like a scandal you get like a red X.
Oh my gosh.
I'm creating that social media platform. Like, this person's canceled, here's how you know.
Oh wow.
That would be hilarious.
That would be so funny.
That would be so detrimental to so many people though. Oh my god, that would be so funny. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna create this social media platform.
What's it gonna be called?
I don't know. What's this episode gonna be called?
What?
What's this episode gonna be called?
Yeah, we don't know that either. I don't even know what, like...
I don't know what the first one's gonna be called, and it's going up tomorrow.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah, we're gonna cut this all out.
I just realized that we were fully just having a regular conversation. So you didn't hear any of that. But we literally just, like, had a whole conversation about not podcast things. We're like, yeah, do you work tomorrow?
Like,
so stupid. So stupid. Ugh.
Have you seen the Aladdin movie yet?
No. I haven't seen a movie in... I literally don't know the last movie I saw.
I think the last movie I saw was Endgame.
I didn't see that.
You didn't see Endgame?
Dude, I think I've seen probably 3 Marvel movies ever. Dude, and 2 of them are Deadpool.
That's more than me, and I still watched it.
2 of them are Deadpool.
Honestly...
Deadpool's literally right there.
Yeah, Deadpool. I watched Deadpool, Ant-Man, Black Panther.
I saw part of Black Panther, I think.
Black Panther was, like, the best.
Mm.
But I'm not, like, a fan of those kind of movies.
I think they're good. I just haven't... The Marvel Cinematic Universe is so big.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't have time to watch them all. Honestly, I just don't.
The only reason I ever, like, went to go see Endgame was because it was the week of my birthday weekend.
Mm.
And my friend was like, oh, like, let's go out, like, go watch the movie. And she paid for my ticket, so I couldn't, like, say no.
Right.
So, I mean, it was a cool, like, I was interested and, like, you know, intrigued. I literally asked one question. Who are the good guys and who are the bad guys?
I mean, I know that. I know this much. And, like, my whole, like, after that movie came out, like, my whole Twitter timeline, everyone turned into Marvel stans.
Yeah. And,
so, like, I know these characters and their names now.
Yeah.
And I know a couple people who die in the movie.
Yeah, there's like 2 or 3.
There's a few. I don't think. I mean, I know the what's the word I'm looking for? Statute of limitations on like spoiling the movie has now passed, and like we can do that. But I still don't want to.
Yeah.
I still don't want to, but I do know that a few people die, like major people that I know of.
There's one person that dies, but doesn't die.
I don't know what that means.
He basically moves on with his life.
Oh.
Passes his, what's the word?
Powers or whatever?
Yeah, like his power, whatever, to another person, and he goes to live his life as a normal person. So technically people say he died, but he didn't die in the aspect of
like he's not dead.
Died.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if that's who I'm thinking of or not that I know that died.
No.
Okay. Because I know that
honestly, I think we can say it. Like, if you
we can. I love that I'm talking about a movie and like a cinematic universe that I know nothing about.
It's Captain America.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't know what everybody's talking about and getting away from, but he is ugly to me. Like, he's just
Captain America is Chris Evans, right?
Like, people are like, oh my god, he's so hot.
I don't think he's hot. I don't think he's bad looking. I just don't think he's like hot.
I think he's just like too handsome.
He's he's pretty boy handsome.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Like, he's very like, my dad has money, handsome.
Rich white boy,
yeah. But not necessarily like he would be a bad, like a douchey rich white boy. He just looks like a rich white boy.
Yeah, I don't know. Like,
sorry, Chris Evans. We're roasting you.
Look, I don't know you on that level, but
I don't know you like that,
I
Chris.
just don't understand where all the rave's coming from.
I think he's fine. He's okay. You know, I wouldn't say no.
Oh, I would.
You would? Really?
Yeah. But my taste in guys are very
selective.
I don't know, but like, I don't know. It's weird. Like, I've only been attracted to like 2 guys in my life, 2 or 3 guys.
Yeah, I mean, I've like in real life, I honestly don't know. Like, I've been attracted to people in the way that like I'll see someone and be like, they're really hot. Mm-hmm. Like, they're really, really hot. But like, I don't know them like that. I guess to develop like a full-on crush.
Yeah, crush I've had in real life
too. Yeah.
But like, I'll like walk down the street and there's some cute guy. I'm like, oh, that guy's cute.
Exactly. Yeah. I have that a lot because there's a lot of attractive people in this world. But like, as far as crushes, I haven't had many, if any, like people that I actually knew.
Yeah, see, that's why I'm very bad with boys, because, like...
Me too.
Both
I also just don't care enough. Like, I'm just... Like, I just don't... Me and Brian had this conversation last night. We were talking about, like, people and, like, friendships. Uh-huh. And, like, I don't have many friends because I'm not the reacher outer to be like, hey, let's go hang out. Like, that's not me. I wait for other people to come to me.
Yeah.
And, like, I will gladly hang out. Like, sure, I'm down. I'm always down. Uh-huh. I'm just not the one that's going to, like, ask. And Brian apparently is the same way.
Yeah. I'll ask, but, like, I have a small group of friends.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I have a good size. It's just people I can trust and, like, hang out with and, like, stay in contact with, very small.
Yeah.
But...
I've always been like that, though.
Yeah.
Like, even in high school, I had no more than, like, 3 close friends at a time.
Yeah, in high school, I had maybe, like, 6 friends. And then, like, my senior year, I got closer to other people because I met people through other people.
Yeah.
Because I went to a middle school that wasn't zoned for that area. Like, I went to a charter school. So it was, like, a private school. And then everybody went from, you know, the public school, middle school, and just followed everybody. So I had to make friends.
Right. I went to the same, like, my elementary and middle school were connected. Like, they were the same school. Mm-hmm. So I went there from 2nd to 8th grade.
Oh, wow.
And then all of us moved to my high school along with 2 other middle schools.
Yeah, you told me.
So, like, some of the people I graduated with, I've known since 2nd grade.
Mm-hmm.
And gone to school with and had classes with every year. Like, but I was never friends with most of them. Yeah. Most of the people that I was close with, I had only known... I mean, I had known them for a while, but, like, we didn't really have classes.
Mm-hmm.
Tyler and I could probably count on one hand, and I've known this kid since 5th grade. I could probably count on one hand the amount of times we had a class together.
Really?
Yeah. We were never in the same classes.
Yeah.
We had a math class together. We had a science class together. And I think that's it. Since 5th grade.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys stayed in contact.
Mm-hmm. He was at my house, like, every day.
Yeah. Kylie and I used to do that. Like, we only had... Well, in middle school, we had all of our classes together because instead of, like, switching classes with different people, you just had the same class switching teachers. It was the worst thing in the world.
That's what we did in 5th grade.
Yeah, it was the worst. It was, like, you have the same exact, like, 20 kids in the class and just switched classrooms. But then high school came. We had maybe one class from freshman till senior year together. But I would have to walk home from freshman year because... my parents both worked. They didn't have a car. I didn't have my permit.
Right.
Nobody could take me home. And so we would walk together in the extreme heat of Florida.
Oh, yeah. It's disgusting.
And I lived, like, a good 45 minutes away from the school.
The hell?
Yeah. And so I had to walk there. I remember our first day of high school. I literally walked home. I wore a tank top with, like, a cardigan on top.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, like, a low top in a way.
Yeah.
I had a sunburn.
Oh,
I came to
no.
school the next day with a sunburn on my chest because I thought I was like, oh my god, I'm tan. But no.
No. We don't tan.
Yeah, we're white.
We're white and, like, I'm ginger.
Mm-hmm.
You're, like, kind of ginger. Like, a little bit.
Like
it's
strawberry.
there. It's there. I mean, right now I have pink hair, but...
Love the pink hair moment.
Me too, to be honest. But yeah, we're pale. Like, pale.
Yeah.
We
I
don't go
a
outside.
What, before I went to California.
Is it Levington?
No,
We've had this conversation probably 500 times, and I literally never remember what you tell me.
No, it's not Levington. I'm too scared of Levington. That's going to be too dark.
I think that's what Tana uses.
Everybody uses that. I know. No, but I use the Saint Tropez.
Oh, Saint Tropez, yeah.
Yeah, however you pronounce it. I got it from Marissa.
Oh, yeah.
And she told me how to apply, how to do it. And then I did it, like, a couple days before my trip on my legs. Did not work. Like, I don't think I put enough on. That was my fault. But I wanted to test it. She was like, oh, yeah, you need to, like, shave, exfoliate, moisturize, and, like, all this kind of stuff. I did all of that, and nothing happened. So I have a family friend that uses it, and she told me, you're not supposed to lotion anything besides, like...
Oh, yeah, you're not... Well, So I've had spray tans.
I've never gotten one.
They're good. I also had this conversation with Brian yesterday. They're good if you go to a place... So, you know how people get orange spray tans?
Yes.
That is because they don't... Or this is what I was always told, at least. That is because they don't clean their machines like they're supposed to. Like the spray tan machines. Yeah. Apparently. Allegedly. Like, you can get one that's too dark. That's a whole separate thing. Yeah. But if it's orange, I was always told that that's because their machines aren't cleaned how they're supposed to be. Like the nozzles or whatever, I guess. I don't know. I've gotten those. And when you get those, you're supposed to put lotion on the places you don't want the tan to build up. Mm-hmm. So between your fingers, between your toes, I want to say your elbows.
Yeah, like your crusty parts.
Yeah, like basically like the places where you don't want it to stick because there's like a barrier there then. Mm-hmm. I forgot all about that. I haven't had a spray tan in years.
Yeah, I'm scared to get one.
Senior prom, I think I probably got one.
Yeah.
They're not bad though.
I don't know. I never had friends that got them, except for I remember one girl in high school got it, She was a cheerleader, so like typical, right?
We didn't have cheerleaders.
Really?
We didn't have cheer squad.
Oh,
we had a dance team.
We had both.
We had a dance team, but we did not have cheerleaders.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
That's like traditional high school.
I know.
Like football.
Yeah. Like we had the football games and all that, but we only had our dance team and they would go out on the field and like dance.
That's weird.
Really weird.
Yeah.
Really, really weird.
But
my high school was kind of weird.
She got one done for like homecoming or something. And I looked at her hand and it was the most patchiest spray tan I've ever seen. Like, it was kind of gross.
Yeah. They do look really, really gross if you don't do what you're supposed to.
Yeah. So I was like, from then on out, I was like, I'm never getting a spray tan. Like, look at her.
I kind of want to get one again just to see.
There's a place in the Promenade.
Yeah, there is, isn't there?
It's like Sun Beach or something.
South Beach tan, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I haven't gotten one in a long time. I used to tan in tanning booths.
Ooh, I heard that's bad.
It's really bad for you.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing happened to me because I didn't do it that much and I didn't do it for very long. But I would go, I had a membership, I think, at this tiny little place. They're closed now. This tiny little place, like right by where I grew up and lived my whole life. And it was so cheap to have a membership there. So cheap. And like that was like the low-key spot. Like people didn't really go there. But like it was so cheap. Like me, Tyler, my mom, like we all had memberships there. And we would go sit in the tanning booth for 20 minutes or whatever they let you do. Butt ass naked. Like,
really?
Well, I would wear like underwear in there. Me personally. Some people don't. But I'm not trying to have those parts burnt. All right? I'm not. But yeah. Tanning booths, not great. Not great for you. Neither you know what? I have a black card. They have tanning at Planet Fitness.
Yeah, they do.
I just remember that.
I don't know anybody who uses it. But
why would you? I don't know why people would use a tanning bed here.
What?
In Florida?
Oh.
For why? Like, I can understand during hurricane season because it's not sunny like the whole time.
Wait, when is hurricane season? Isn't it
May through October? Like late May through October?
Know.
I know it's through October. I just don't.
I think it's in like June.
I don't know. Let me look.
Speaking of hurricanes, did you see that like trailer for the movie? I forgot what it's called, but it's like it's literally Florida in a nutshell. Like the movie is based off a hurricane and like you have to evacuate and this family doesn't. And a whole bunch of alligators just take over the whole like town. So this
dude, that's so funny.
Yeah, it correlates to the 11-foot alligator
earlier.
But basically it's like instead of like a shark movie, it's an alligator movie. How like it takes over like the whole town and they're in people's houses and they go to attack humans, and it's the weirdest thing. Like you would never think of an alligator to do that. That's
so funny. I saw a clip on Twitter earlier, maybe it was a GIF or something, I don't remember. Also, yes, I say it with a G and not with a J because it bothers me. I don't want to talk about it. Anyways, I saw a thing earlier and it was for a movie called Ghost Shark.
What?
And it was like this person was doing something and they like reached forward and like literally a ghost shark, like the ghost of a shark just like popped out.
This is the movie?
I swear.
I don't know who's coming up with these.
Have you ever heard of the movie Rubber?
No.
I never watched it, but it went kind of like viral a long time ago. And it's literally about a possessed car tire that kills people.
What?
I swear. Like, first let me look up Ghost Shark. Ghost Shark movie.
Like, I don't know who's coming up with these ideas, but I can come up with better.
Right? But, like, damn. They're making money?
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's absolutely insane. Ghost shark. A coastal town is plagued by a supernatural man-eating shark. A ghost hunter joins forces with a sea captain to uncover the secrets of the area's dark past and find a way to exorcise the spectral predator. Literally a ghost hunter.
What?
Hunting a shark.
Oh my god.
I really just want that to sink into your brain for a moment.
Yeah, I'm letting it.
It's like so stupid.
It is.
Like, it's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And then here's Rubber, a 2010 drama / fantasy. Car tire comes to life with the power to make people explode and goes on a murderous rampage through the Californian desert.
Oh my gosh.
This is a real movie. This is a film that was on Netflix. I don't know if it still is.
That's so crazy.
Oh.
It's like the filmmakers now and like all these movies.
It's so like movies like that make me think like, yeah, maybe I could make movies.
Mm-hmm.
I could do that. For sure. I could come up with something. It's not on Netflix anymore, but it used to be, by the way.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Did you watch Us?
Us. No.
Oh, such a good movie.
I have not. I told you, I haven't seen a movie in forever.
Yeah, that was a good movie. It's like the concept behind it, it's very confusing. And it's not a horror film at all. Because, like,
yeah,
I
heard
don't
it.
mind a good horror film. As long as it's not spiritual.
I'm terrified of any horror films. The first one I ever saw was Chucky.
I never watched Chucky.
I'm still scared of that.
Growing up, I hated them. And then as I got older, kind of like, I was like, okay, like, whatever.
See?
Great.
We're both yawning at the same time.
But, yeah, like, I remember I forgot what this movie was called. It was, like, something with the, word devil in it. And obviously anything with the word devil in it is going to be a horror film.
Yes.
And it basically was, like, this elevator. And there was, like, a group of
elevators.
You know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yes, and they got stuck in the elevator.
Yes, where they get stuck in the elevator and one of them's the devil. And they have to, like, figure out who the devil is.
So every time the lights shut off, somebody goes missing. Like, just disappears.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, it's like all these people, and there's one older lady, and she turns out to be the devil. She's, like, old as hell.
Yeah,
and so
of course it is.
It because she disappears. Like, she's the third or whatever person.
Wait, she disappears?
She does.
And she's the devil?
Yes.
Wow, we love a red herring. Is that what it's called, red herring?
I don't know.
I think that's what it's called.
But like, that's why you never expect this, because she's one of those vanishing
right,
people.
yeah.
But it was so terrifying. I watched it at a sleepover with a friend, like a whole group of friends, and I literally had the covers like over my head.
Yeah,
people
absolutely
would make fun of me. But
I don't like horror films in any capacity. I have probably seen at most like 4.
No, I've watched like a lot of horror films.
I've seen Chucky, which traumatized me probably still to this day. Like, I still don't. I watched that when I was like 8.
Wow.
I still like would not watch that movie again. I saw Pet Sematary, the old one, not the new one.
Never seen it.
That shit is scary.
Really?
Scary. I've seen they consider this a horror movie. I don't think it's that scary. The Shining.
Oh.
It's actually right there.
Never
I don't know why we
watched it
own
either.
it, because my mom's never seen it. So I don't know where we got that from. But The Shining, it's actually a really good movie.
Really?
It's really good. Like, it's really, really good. The acting is good, except for the woman, the wife in the movie. She's an awful actress.
Oh.
So bad. I don't know her name. Bad. Really bad. But the rest of the movie is good. It's scary in the way that it's like you're watching him unravel. You're watching him slowly go insane.
Okay.
You're watching his brain like go crazy. So it's scary in that sense. and it's scary in like the sort of ghost sense, but like also maybe it's just him going crazy, like that thing.
Yeah.
But it's not a scary movie to me. Like, it's not a horror film to me, even though it's considered a classic horror film.
Yeah, the only movie I will never watch is The Conjuring.
Oh, I would never even, like, blink twice at thinking about watching that movie.
Nope,
Absolutely not.
My friends, we watched Annabelle 2.
Oh, no. No.
Never watched the first one, but, like, at the same time, you didn't need to watch the first one, like, to understand it.
I heard it's, like, a prequel.
Yes.
I didn't know they were connected.
Yes.
Until there's a guy that comes in sometimes. Brian calls him the movie guy because he has this massive movie collection, like huge.
What is it?
I don't know the dude's name.
Okay.
He's British.
He's white.
You know, yes.
Yes.
Okay, so you know who I'm talking about.
Yes.
So he was talking about those movies.
Horror movies or like Annabelle?
Well, horror movies in general, and then he was talking about The Conjuring and Annabelle, and that's connected to this and this and this and this, and they're all connected, and I had no idea because I don't watch them and I don't care.
I didn't know it was connected until I watched the movie.
Yeah, I didn't know it was connected until this man told me, and this was a month ago.
That movie freaked me out.
Yeah, I won't do it. I refuse. But I absolutely refuse.
At the same time, it was really cool how they did it because apparently the first Annabelle was like Annabelle, like the movie. But then the second is like how Annabelle became
a prequel.
And then the third movie, if they come out with one, is going to be like the aftermath of it because like it travels through girls.
Oh, no, no.
But I like the horror movies in a sense of like Us. Like Us is not a horror. I don't know.
That's Jordan Peele, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I didn't see Get Out either.
I didn't see that. That is one that I actually probably would consider seeing.
Yeah,
because it's
good.
It's a different kind of horror movie.
Exactly.
It's like a psychological horror movie, which I would see. The ghosts and the demons and the like Pet Sematary is all about they bury pets. There's a certain cemetery where you can bury pets or people or things or whatever and they come back to life.
Yeah.
They come back to life, but they're evil. Evil, like.
But doesn't like the kids, aren't they involved or something, like humans?
Yeah, so the movie starts out where their cat dies, I think. I want to say. It's been a long time since I saw this movie. Mm-hmm. Probably because I hate horror movies.
Well, they're coming out with a new one.
They came out with a new one.
Oh, okay.
And even Stephen King, who wrote the book and the first movie, like he made the first movie, he said the new one is scary.
Oh, wow.
This is Stephen King, the horror writer. That's his career. And he said the new one is scary. He didn't make the new one. He said it's scary. I think not. Anyways, I want to say it starts out they bury their cat. The cat comes back to life. And then the little kid, like the toddler, they're at like a picnic or whatever in the front yard. His ball bounces into the street and he gets smacked by a semi-truck. Dead.
Oh my gosh.
And they bring him back. And he's evil. And he starts like killing, I want to say he kills his mom.
Ooh.
Like crazy. Like, no, absolutely not. The other horror film, I don't know if it's considered horror or not. It's called Misery.
Never heard of it.
It's with Kathy Bates and James, I can't remember his last name. It's over here somewhere. I don't know where it is. It's on DVD. That movie is still scary to me. That is the first thing I ever saw Kathy Bates in. Mm-hmm. And I can't watch anything with her in it now because she is always that character in my mind.
Yeah.
And, like, there's a specific scene that's burned into my brain for the rest of my life. So, basically, this movie is this guy is a writer. And he has written this, like, series of books. And she's a super fan of this series. He gets in a car accident in, like, the snow in the cold. And he's, like, stuck in his car, like, passed out, whatever. She finds him, saves him, brings him back to her house so she can, like, nurse him back to health. And then it turns out that she's, like, a crazy obsessed fan, like, psycho. He starts to get better. He's, like, almost better. And she's like, no. And she takes a sledgehammer and smashes his ankles so he can't walk. That scene, that particular scene of any scene in that movie is burned into my brain for my whole life.
Oh, no.
Oh, I just thought of another horror film I've seen. Silence of the Lambs.
I've never heard of any of them.
You've never heard... Misery, I understand. Silence of the Lambs?
No.
It puts the lotion on the skin, or it gets the hose again. It's about Hannibal Lecter and Buffalo Bill. You've never heard of Silence of the Lambs?
No.
That's that's like one of the...
When did it come out?
Probably the 80s, maybe? But it's like one of the most classic, most quoted films ever.
Yeah,
like,
I've never seen it.
That quote that I just said, like, it puts the lotion on the skin, is like a famous quote. And, what is it? What does he say? Hello, Clarice. Like, that one, too. You would actually maybe... You know who Hannibal Lecter is, right? He was a cannibal. Hannibal the Cannibal.
Oh.
And, like, obviously a murderer.
Yeah.
And the movie is about this woman who's, like, in training to be, like, not a police officer, but, like, an investigator, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
And her, like, mentor or whatever recommends her to go talk to Hannibal Lecter in prison because they think he knows something about Buffalo Bill, who's on the rise for cutting people's skin off and wearing it. Yeah. So he sends her to talk to Hannibal Lecter in prison and get information out of him. She does. She ends up, like, it's so good. It's a really good movie. And it's a horror movie, but again, not the kind I mind watching because it's not like... It's more psychological than anything. Yeah. And he's like a psychiatrist. Hannibal was a psychiatrist. So he, like, knows all these things. Like, he knows how a case study works and he knows, like, all of those things. And so he's very, very intelligent. Yeah. He actually convinces another prison mate who was, like, being super creepy to this girl that came in to kill himself in prison. Just based on, like, psychological, like, I don't know the word I'm looking for. Manipulation, I guess.
That's crazy.
It's insane. It's really good, and it really is insane to me that you've never heard of this movie.
Yeah, but then again, Oh, well, I've seen that.
Yeah. That's, That's
yes.
Silence of the Lambs.
Wow, he looked kind of scary.
Yeah. It's Anthony Hopkins. Jeffree Star has an Anthony Hopkins tattoo.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Like a portrait.
Whoa.
He has a few portraits. I don't know who any of them are.
Yeah.
But I only know that because when he did a video, like, last year with Tana and James.
The mukbang one?
Yes. Uh-huh. And he said something about Anthony Hopkins, and Tana said, "Is he still alive?"
Oh, yeah.
And he's like
laughing.
He's like freaking out. And he's like, "James, we have to kick her out." And he's like,
James is like,
I don't know who that is. Yes, that clip is how I know that he has that tattoo. Like, I've never paid attention. I don't know why I said tattoo like that.
Yeah.
Yes, that was a wild ride for that conversation. But yeah, point is, I don't watch a lot of horror movies. If I do, they're not the spooky ghost demon possession type. Like, I don't do any of that.
Yeah, me neither.
I think I saw a little bit of Poltergeist.
Never saw that one either.
I didn't see the whole thing, but I think I've seen the scene where she's, like, sitting in front of the TV, and the TV is like a portal or whatever for, like, these demon hoes to come out and, like, yeah. I don't watch them. I don't watch a lot of movies, though. Like, I have a lot of movies, and I have seen a lot of movies, but now I just...
Yeah.
Nothing's been that good.
Yeah.
Like, really, nothing has been that good. Like, if you look, we're sitting in my dining room right now where I have all of my movies and stuff. And, like, if you look, there's a lot of movies there. A lot of those are not mine.
Yeah, but you have, like, shows.
Yeah.
Full of, and it's, like, they're in the back, too.
Yeah, they're
like,
double layered. They're double layered. There's a few hundred movies, and there's movies on my TV stand over there, too. VHS. Disney VHS.
Oh, my gosh.
Disney VHS is over there. I still have VHS tapes. For those of you who are small and don't know what a VHS tape is, it's the big, clunky, like, you have to rewind it manually to watch it. Like,
yeah.
I also have DVDs. And a Fire Stick. So, like, I've got it all. I've got all the generations on point here. But yeah, I don't really watch movies that much. Love a good binge moment on a TV show, though.
Yes and no.
What do you mean?
I used to, like, when I had, like, no school.
Yeah.
And no work. Like,
yeah.
Summer breaks would fully be, like, binge.
See, I will binge on a show. Like, it takes me too long to get ready in the morning. Or in, like, the afternoon, because I don't work in the mornings. It takes me too long to get ready for my day. So I can get through 2 episodes of a TV show from the time I wake up to the time I have to do something, if I wake up for a thing.
Yeah.
Like, if I just wake up and then I don't have to be anywhere for a while, like, I'll do whatever. But, like, I've rewatched One Tree Hill 3 times.
See, One Tree Hill will be my all-time favorite show.
I have 2 seasons of it down there.
Oh, really?
Because I found them at a thrift store.
Kylie bought the whole 9 seasons at a thrift store or something like that.
Yeah, see, I would have done that if they had them, but I only bought 2 and 3 because that's all they had. Yeah. I do have all 9 seasons of Full House, though.
Oh.
You can see 1 and 2 right there.
Oh my god, speaking of, you heard that she's getting 40 years in jail?
That's obnoxious to me.
Yeah.
Like, I retweeted it. I don't think she should even go to jail. I think she should have to pay at least what she paid to bribe them, and then probably more than that. I don't think her kids should be at that school.
You don't think they should be at the school or should be not?
Shouldn't be at the school.
Oh, are they still attending?
Probably not, but I don't think they should be allowed to if they are. But, like, that is so not a thing that I think a person should be in prison for.
Yeah, see, I used to, like, I watched Olivia Jade.
I have.
Like,
I wasn't, like, a stan, but, like, I've known who she was for a few years.
Yeah, like, I'm subscribed to her. I follow her on, like, Twitter, social media, all that kind of
I think I follow her on Instagram.
But, there were times when I'm like, like that clip that went around where she's like, I'm just going for the experience.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like.
But also that's such a rich person thing to say. Yeah. Like, any rich person that you know in real life would probably say the same thing. Mm-hmm. It's just I don't know the word I'm looking for, but, like, a privilege thing. Yeah. Like, yeah, of course she's just going for because she doesn't need a career.
Yeah, because I remember, yeah, she has one set up for her.
She's fine. Like, she's chilling.
But, yeah, because so a girl I went to high school with, I wasn't close with, but, like, I knew of her, and we had, like, a few classes together. She passed away in a car accident. The one that.
Oh, you told me about that.
Yeah, he was a drunk driver. It was like 4 a.m, and he was going like 130 on a regular 45 road. Yeah. And her best friend like tweeted and like quoted that tweet and was like, "So she gets 40 years for putting her kids in college, but the person that killed my best friend only gets 10."
Yeah, like, that type shit is insane to me.
Like, she's like, you know what? Fuck the system. Like, it's messed up. And then everybody's
like actual back, like, murderers can get less time than that.
What's the guy's name? He like raped, and he got like 3 months.
Oh, Brock Turner.
Yes, everybody's bringing him back up, which 100% they should.
Absolutely. I whenever something like that happens, like a big thing that should be talked about, as much as it is, I always see, like, say his name, remember his name.
Yeah.
And I saw a tweet like that the other day, like, Brock Turner, like, say his name, remember his name, because he should not be allowed to.
No, he should be in jail.
He should be in prison. He should be somebody, probably shouldn't say this, whatever. He should be somebody's bitch in prison.
Oh my god.
Like.
I know. Did you watch Ted Bundy?
Yeah, I watched the docuseries. I haven't seen the Zac Efron movie yet.
I watched the movie, just not the
not the series.
The series is like worth it.
It's so good.
Okay.
Oh, I watched it. I think we watched it over 2 days.
Whoa.
We watched it like half of it here, and then when I went to Tampa, we watched the rest of it there. And it was so good. But I'm also so interested in that stuff.
Yeah.
Like serial killer stuff, true crime, like case, like that whole thing. So interesting. So interesting. And the thing with Ted Bundy, I don't know if they had to have brought it up in the movie. It's kind of his thing. He was very intelligent.
Oh, 100%.
And very, like, psychological. I mean, he was psychologically fucked up, but, like, psychologically he was very, like, manipulative and very smart with how to be. He was a sociopath.
Yeah.
He was, like, the OG sociopath.
Like, most of the movie is, like, him and his trials.
Yeah.
And literally
he was his own lawyer.
He's his own
because he went to law school.
Yes.
And he was like, these people are not representing me how I know I need to be represented. Let me just cop my own case real quick.
And he like escapes
twice.
Yeah. And oh my god.
And he would have gotten away with it if it hadn't been like stupid things.
Yeah. Like fucking jumping out of a window.
Yeah. Well, even that, like, they still wouldn't have caught him had he not left the cabin.
Yeah.
Like, he had, like a sickness spell or something. Like, he had a moment where he was, like, freaking out in that cabin. And he, like, left to go get food or something. And then he, like, stole a car, had a taillight out, got pulled over for a routine traffic stop, and that's how they caught him.
Yeah.
Like, they weren't even... Like, it just so happened to be that they caught him for that.
Yeah, because if not...
He would have been just out there. I mean, he would have got caught for some other stupid thing,
they were like, oh, like, license, registration.
Yeah, like, all of that.
Yeah, and he was like, and he's like, he, like, punches the officer.
I don't even know if that happened in real life or not.
I don't know. That's what they showed in the movie.
Yeah, I mean,
but
yeah.
I don't think anybody could have played him better than Zac Efron.
Well, because the whole point of Ted Bundy was that for the time he was handsome.
Yeah.
And my mom has always sort of taught me that about, like, people. Is that a rapist doesn't have to look like a rapist.
Yeah.
A murderer doesn't have to look like a murderer. Like, you need to be careful. Because even if somebody's hot, that doesn't mean they're not creepy. Like Ted, and that was Ted Bundy. So to have Zac Efron, who was, I mean, like, generationally a heartthrob, and still is, he's still hot.
Yeah. To
have him be that is very fitting. And a lot of people were mad about it.
I know.
And I'm like, dude, they're sexual. That's the point. Like, that's the point of the character. Like,
yeah.
That's who Ted Bundy was. That's why he got all these girls to talk to him in the first place. When he was at, I don't know if they showed it, but he went to this, like, beach thing or something, like this event. And he kidnapped 2 girls from the same event on the same day. It was one of the first things they talk about in the docuseries.
Oh, see, the only case, like, the only, I guess, crime that they talk about is how he, like, it actually showed is he went to, like, a college party, and he, like, raped 2 girls and killed them.
Oh. I don't remember he killed a lot of people.
Yeah, he killed
a lot of people that they know about. Like, they don't even know about everyone.
Yeah.
which is crazy. But they, one of the first things I think that they talk about is he goes to this, like, beach party event, like, I don't know what it was. It was like a festival or something. And he asks a girl to help him load something into his car. Her friends don't see her again.
They showed this in the movie.
And then a little bit later, he asks another girl to do the same thing. Like, he's talking to her, like, oh, what's your name? Like, how are you? Like, hey, can I have a favor? Oh, and, like, that's the only reason that he got these girls to talk to him. Mm-hmm. Because they're like, oh, he's, like, this cute guy is talking to me. Like, oh, my God, he's flirting with me. Like, that's the point.
Yeah.
And people were like, oh, my God, Zac Efron is, like, too hot to, like, play this. I'm like, no, dude, that's the point. He's hot on purpose.
Yeah.
That's why he was casted for the role. Like, that's... Oh, my God. People are so stupid. Yeah. Some people. Mm-hmm. Not every person. Mm-hmm. Just, like, some people. You know? I'm so tired.
Yeah, me too. Well, on that note...
Yeah, I have to work. I have to leave in literally 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I love that for me. Well, we didn't do Song of the Week. We have to do it.
I guess
I can come up with one.
Honestly, I might just do a throwback because I was listening to the throwbacks playlist while I was in the shower.
It's fire.
And one song really hit me in a different...
It be hitting different?
Yeah. And it was like, I was like, damn.
Yeah?
But it's Buy You a Drink.
Oh! Who was I just talking about that song to? I don't know who it was. I was just talking about that song.
I don't know, but T-Pain, man.
Slaps.
Oh my God. That song hits different.
Slaps. I'm gonna go... What am I gonna go with? I don't know. I might go with Me by Taylor Swift and Brendan Urie. Mm-hmm. It's a bop. It's a bop. You know, I went with something sad last week, so I have to go with something like hype and like fun and dancey this week. It's a good song. I mean, it's Taylor Swift and Brendan Urie. It's really hard to have a bad song when you're those two people together. It's fire. The music video is pretty. Go listen to that. I'm gonna put those on the playlist, which I created today. Yeah. Follow our social medias. Closing Podcast on Twitter and Instagram. Mm-hmm. My personal Instagram and Twitter are Marissa T15 with 3 A's at the end of Marissa. And you are?
Madison.px on IG. Ew, that was gross. And then MadisonXPX on Twitter.
Love that for us. And that's going to be it for us today because I literally have to leave now. So, yeah, that's going to be it. We will see you guys later. Hopefully, I mean, not hopefully. By the time you hear this, the first episode will be up.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Which is exciting. And it's going to take us an hour and a half to edit this one. So that's fun. Can't wait for that. All right. Well, bye.
Bye.